Joining us now is candidate for Texas Attorney General George P. Bush. Great to see you. So first, George, Joe Biden's border policies are inherently America last, and an open border leads to drug trafficking, human trafficking, other issues. Why is the administration working against the state of Texas and these folks that are actually trying to enforce the law?
Well, thank you again for having me. I would say that he's trying to build a loyal political base by trying to grant amnesty to upwards of 7 million undocumented immigrants, or just giving the middle finger to the state of Texas. But as you alluded to, the state of Texas is a can-do people. We're very resilient. I've got a new offer for the president of the United States. Maybe he should just give us the billion that he's going to pay illegals, and we will enforce federal immigration law for them. This administration has decided at every turn they're going to chip away at law and order, especially in border communities that time and time again are seeing wave after wave of caravans, and it's eating away at the public treasury of our state. And so my theory is that when more migrant caravans end up in blue states, suddenly the president's going to get some calls from his fellow Democrats to change their policies.
You know, we already know that people are coming here because of Biden's policies. I can only imagine they're hitting out this $450,000 that it will keep them coming. I mean, this is per person. So some of these families could be getting up to $1 million, costing taxpayers over $1 billion, as we've been talking about. Although some on the left are saying that this will actually be helpful because it will quell these lawsuits that these migrants have against the U.S. government. So I want you to respond to that. But also, Congressman Crenshaw and Mass, they point out an interesting point, saying that these payments would exceed how much money goes to someone like a fallen service member, a 9/11 victim, getting more money, these migrant families. Your reaction to that?
Well, this goes back to the justice and the fairness issue. Here we are in our state of Texas with 1.8 million veterans who served our great country, but yet high rate of suicide, high rate of unemployment, but nothing for them. And with this payout, it's maybe the largest magnet policy you can possibly imagine if you had the executive pen that President Biden does. So you're absolutely right. We're looking at 2 million apprehensions this year alone, with maybe 1 million gotaways, according to estimates from Border Patrol. I wouldn't be surprised if the projections go even higher for fiscal year 22 with the combination of all these policies. Look, the incentive now is to come here illegally. It's easier to come here illegally than the legal process, and it's dangerous. It's chipping away at law and order. And while Congress has decided they're going to pass $3.5 trillion in excessive spending and socialize our country, they're leaving states like Texas behind footing the bill, and it's irresponsible.
When I read this policy today, it made it sound like this was only going to affect those separated under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance border policies. But wasn't it the Obama administration that started this kids in cages phenomenon in the first place? I mean, if they're going to pay everybody, why don't they pay the folks who are also separated under the Obama administration?
That's a very good point. And where was the outrage back then? I would also say that I'm not sure that illegals have standing to bring cases against the federal government. To me, this is just an opportunity for groups like ACLU and others out there to try to extort plaintiffs' attorneys' fees and contingency fees for a sympathetic plaintiff. In this case, these plaintiffs have broken the law. And so, again, this comes to a justice issue. Not only Republicans will be angry with this, but any taxpayer who pays into our system that is being robbed at every turn with our public hospital systems, our schools, you name it. The bill is escalating every single day, but yet we have a leftist progressive coalition that has decided they're going to try to build a new political base overnight.
Scary stuff. Great to see you, George P. Bush. Thanks for joining us.